So, welcome everyone. Sorry about that. I'm currently only going live. Well, welcome to another live stream. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, and this is going to be your first live stream with me. My name is Adley Telford. I'm the creator of the course Stock Trading Simple Beginner Guide, and I currently have live streams every Monday and Thursday at 7:30 p.m. I used to do it Monday through Thursday, but I'm going to be switching now from Monday through Thursday to Monday and Thursdays only. I'm getting a little busy here at the office with live trading courses that I'm doing here in person, as well as some other things going on here at the office. So as you guys can tell from the title of this video, it's called Chart Setup. And that's what we're going to be really looking at today. We're going to be looking at the chart setup, and everything that we cover today is going to be things that I actually cover on my course that I have currently available on Udemy, which is called Stock Trading Simple Beginner Guide. Okay, so let me see if I can get something set up over here on the other screen first, and then we're gonna go ahead and get this thing started. Just give me a moment here, waiting for a couple people to sign in on TikTok as well. All right. So let's go ahead and add that over here to our. Okay. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. All right. Just had a couple things I had to get done here. All right. So I didn't get a chance to stream on Monday, but let's take a look here what we're going to be doing today. I didn't get a chance to stream on Monday, just to go do live on Monday, but we're going to be doing that today. All right. And the reason why I'm doing this particular course, and I'll probably do this course every other week, because we have a lot of new people that are tuning in, not only on TikTok, but on YouTube as well. It's because I have, well, for those of you who don't know, here at the office where I'm at, we have a financial office. We do title loans, personal loans, financial loans, mortgages, and a bunch of different setups that we have here. And sometimes I have a lot of people that come into the office and, you know, they'll see me here trading and they'll ask me questions in regards to, you know, how to trade stocks, or they'll tell me that they were trading on Robinhood. And I'll ask them a few questions, and, you know, they really don't know much about trading. Everything that they know is self-taught. And sometimes they ask me about, okay, well, I have $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 and I want to invest it. And a lot of times they just don't know what they're doing and they're just losing money. And I actually spoke to a gentleman today, and I showed him my chart setup. And well, over the past couple of days, actually, because I'm not a big heavy fan of crypto, but I do trade some crypto. So I'll kind of give you guys an example here. Let me not ramble on anyway, because this is like a 30-minute live. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look here. All right. So here's the basic things that I have set up on my particular charts. I have my areas of support, which are these blue lines over here. And I have my areas of resistance, which are these red lines over here. Now I have my moving averages set up over here. Okay. And my moving averages are the red and green line that you see. All right. Now, with our moving averages, there are different ways that you can have it set up. Some people have different time frames that they use. I use the 50 and the 20. And what this basically does, and by me having it color coded the way I have it color coded, what that basically means is I can look at this at a glance and I can tell that I'm in an uptrend, right? So let me show you what I'm talking about. Like right here, we can see that we're clearly in an uptrend because our moving averages, you can see the green line is up there. You can see the red line. Oh, and then you can tell here we're clearly in an uptrend as well. Now, here's the funny thing. If I was to move these, if I was to make these moving averages, if I was to make these moving averages, oh, I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys, on TikTok. So hold on a second here, guys. I forgot to put my phone on don't disturb. All right. So let me wait for a second here. All right, because I'm doing it on YouTube and on TikTok at the same time. All right. So so what I'm basically saying is here you can look at our charts, right? And you can see our moving averages, and you can tell like right here the stock is going up. You can tell right here a sideways trend, and then right here you can tell that the stock is going up. And you can tell that because visually, you can just look at that, and with these lines, it makes everything really clear. Now, if I was to hide those, right, look how this chart would look. You can't tell really what's going on here. You just see that you see this candlestick is up, you see, this area right over here, but you can't really tell what's going on. You can't tell if there's a uptrend, downtrend. You just see candlesticks, that's it, right? And you see movements. But once you put your moving averages in place, it kind of clearly lets you see that, hey, we are in an uptrend here, we're in a downtrend, and that's one of the reasons why you always hear me say I'm not a big fan of influencers who are on social media and they're showing you a chart that looks like this. Let me see here. Let me move all these indicators off here. They're showing you charts that look like this, and they're saying, yeah, they're just drawing lines here. And what you have to pay attention to is you have to pay attention to the the upper left hand corner here. And if you notice that these things are grayed out where you can't see the eye symbols up here, guys, up in the top corner, then you know that they're not showing you the indicators that they're doing, that they're using, and they're just drawing lines to make themselves look good. All right. Every professional trader and everybody that trades, their charts typically look like this with all of these indicators on it. So anytime I see an influencer doing something like that, I feel like they're doing a disservice to you guys. And I'm going to constantly talk about this every other week because, like I said, I'm not an influencer. I don't make money by trading by posting these videos on TikTok or YouTube. Uh, my job is really to educate anyone that's interested in learning how to trade. All right. So the first thing that we're going to look at. So now that I have that out of the way, I want you guys to understand. Your moving averages over here. If you guys trade on Robinhood, that's absolutely fine. If you trade on Robinhood, you're not going to have access to all these things, but I do recommend that you go over and you set up a free account with TradingView, which is what I'm using here. Now, with TradingView, if you have a free account, you have a limited amount of indicators, which are these things here that you see on the screen, which are your areas of support, your areas of resistance, and your moving averages. You have a limited amount of things that you can put on there. You cannot put so many things. But when it comes down to your indicators, you typically only need 3 real indicators. Here you see I have my moving averages, support, resistance, and I have my RSI. By color coding my moving averages, I know whenever the green line's on top, red line's at the bottom, and it's pointing up, I know we're in an uptrend. I know we're in a downtrend when this is happening here. Red line's on top, green line's at the bottom. And once again, look at this. Look at the big difference. You can't tell what's happening here when you take those moving averages out of place. But when you put them on, you see clearly what's going on. And I say this because a lot of times people think trading is so difficult and crazy, and it's really not. It's extremely easy if you know what you're doing, and if you pay attention. Basically, if you just know what you're doing, and you just stop watching a few videos on YouTube and on Instagram or TikTok, and then you say, "Well, I'm going to start investing my money." Like you're literally throwing money in the garbage, And this is why, you know, I have my course that's available on Udemy, which is called Stock Trading Simple Beginner Guide, right? And I'm not saying to you guys to take my course. You guys will always hear me say, if you go to Udemy and you just put in stock trading, and there's so many different courses available on Udemy that you're going to have a lot of different courses that's going to pop up on Udemy. And some of these courses are going to be cheaper, like $12, $16, $20. This is my course. It's $19.99, highest rated, but you have other courses on here where you have people that are teaching you how to trade, and you can get some of these courses for look at this one. This one is $11 over here. Okay. And keep in mind, I'm recommending courses that, um, that's not just mine, but, other people's courses as well, because this course you can sign up right now. You can get it for $11.99. I believe with this course, you're going to have well over let me see how many people, over 25,000 people taking this course. He has 4.5 rating, right? And this is one of the guys that I'm competing with on Udemy, who also has a course as well. But by taking this course and learning how to trade from a professional, he actually has a brokerage firm that's based out of Canada. You can have that. you can cut your learning curve from a couple years to just a couple weeks. Okay. And it's very important because I have, as a financial manager as well, I have a lot of people that come in here and they want to just like give me money to trade for them. And I'm saying like, no, you can learn how to trade by yourself. Why are you taking three, four, $5,000 investing in the stock market and you're just losing money? It just doesn't make any sense. If you're really serious about trading, spend the 25, spend the $30, go to Udemy, go to Skillshare, learn how to trade from a professional. Okay. Get access to how to use all of these tools here from TradingView, FinViz, all these other tools, and do it properly, because trading is a job, it's a business. And if you don't know your job, you're not going to be successful at it. I mean, so many people that I see on social media and online, they're talking about, they're tired of their jobs, they want to be self-sufficient, they want to travel, and yet they don't want to. They will take, you know 300, 500, 1,000, or even $2,000, and they'll throw it into the stock market on Robinhood or into crypto, having no idea what they're doing and just purely speculating, which I call gambling, based off, a friend tell them to do this or a friend tell them to buy that, and then they want to buy the stock and they're losing money. Whereas if they take a simple, I mean, look at this, guys, look at this, a simple 11.99 will get you access to this course. Over 25,000 people have taken his course and they're happy with it. You know, the only difference between his course and my course is the fact that when you take his course, you're going to get it a little cheaper, but you don't get direct access to him. When you sign up for my course here, Stock Trading Simple Beginner Guide, you get 3 months access to me, where I will actually, give you my number. You can call me on WhatsApp. You can say, hey, I have this stock that I want to buy, and I have some questions about it, and we'll pull up the stock together. And I'll say to you, okay, well, I'll say, hey, let's pull up the stock. Right now, we can look at the moving averages, support and resistance. I would look at buying here, selling here, and um, and I'll say, if once you buy into the stock, just let me know, and I'll show you how to set up some alerts. And I'll also keep an eye on the stock for you as well to help you understand, like, okay, look, there's a change in something that's happening with the news or whatever the case may be. So you may want to try to get out of the stock early, whether you're in the green or in the red. These are things that you need to know, because I've had people who've actually, they buy a stock. Like, I'll give you an example here, um, and this is one of the reasons why I have this particular stock here. I had somebody who bought the stock right around here about $29, right? And when they bought the stock, they rode the wave all the way up, right? So this stock went as high as, $34, and they could have cashed out. But what they did was they bought the stock and they said, well, it's up this high, I'm just going to continue riding the wave. And what they did not want to understand is that a stock just never goes straight up. It's going to go up, it's going to come down. And guess what? Within like 5 days, the stock dropped back down to $29. So they were all the way up here in the green. And because they were just holding on and holding on to the stock, and they weren't paying attention to your areas of support and resistance, and when these areas of resistance popped into place, they wasn't paying attention to that. The stock went right back down to where they literally broke even, and they held on to the stock for like 5 days, and they ended up breaking even. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you have to have a strategy. You have to have a strategy. And I know I'm getting off course here. It's just that I have a lot of people that come into my office and they're saying they want to trade, or they've been trading. And they're saying to me, look, I got an extra 3 grand. I want to invest in the stock market. What stocks to buy? And you can't do that. You cannot do that. If you're gonna do that, just donate the money to me, because you're literally throwing the money in the garbage. All right, I'll give you guys another quick example here. Like, I have a very diverse portfolio. I trade I trade stocks. I do a lot of options trading. I get more ROI when I do options trading, and I only have two cryptos that I actually own. Right. And one of the and I've said this before in some of my live videos, one of the cryptocurrencies that I own is Chronos, right? And one of the reasons why I own Chronos is of because they're owned by, because it's made by crypto.com. right? And crypto.com, they have their crypto. Well, how can I put this? You have your meme coins, and your meme coins are basically coins that are not really used for anything in the real world. In the real world, and then you have coins like Chronos, which is owned by Crypto.com. They have their own credit cards. They have ATMs. They're an actual business. They're listed on the stock market as far as the company. So when they create a coin, their coin actually has has something feasible that you can actually touch and you can see it working. It's not like a Doge or anything like that, or a Shiba where you're buying it and there's really nothing you can do with it. It's just a coin that it's pure speculation and numbers in the air. And the second reason why I own Chronos is because of the number of coins that is out there. And I believe it's like only like 9 billion coins that are out there, right? So it's not like Shiba where you have like over 100 trillion coins that are out there. And, it's just so many coins. So the price really is not going to move much. Now, I bought this stock and I'm sorry, I bought Chronos and I bought it roughly around 8 cents. Okay. And this was a few months back. And if you notice over the past couple of days, it's just shot up the roof, right? It's at 18. It was at 18, went up to 19, then it went up to 27, up around here, like 23, and then it went up to 27. And then earlier today, it was like all the way up to about 39, right? Right, all the way up to here earlier today. Now, when am I going to get rid of it? I'm probably not going to get rid of it because with everything that's happening here, and I always hear me talk about the fundamentals, this coin is probably going to continue growing. Now, if we switch over here to our daily time chart and we look at Chronos on our daily time chart, I'm going to show you something here. And I'm not recommending that you buy this, but all of these red lines over here, these are your areas of resistance. Is broken through every single area of resistance. And the next real area of resistance that we have here that is showing up on this chart is going to be all the way up here around 50 cents, right? So, and what I mean by that on our daily time chart is the stock is going to go up. It's going to do some pullback and come down a little bit. But for the most part, like right now, the stock price is here. But for the most part, it's going to more than likely run into some real resistance and probably hover right around the 49, 50 cents mark. And the highest that this stock is the highest that this crypto has ever been has really been 98 cents. So you have to be able to study. How can I put this? You just have to be willing to really put energy and time into learning how to trade if you want to really do this as a business. Okay, you cannot expect instant gratification. There's not going to be a time when you spend $300 and turn it into $10,000 unless you're highly leveraged, or unless some type of miracle happened. When you see this on social media, guys, don't fall for it. It's not real. Okay, when you trade, even if you have $3,000 in your account and you buy stocks, if you buy a stock, within a 2 to 3 day period, you might be able to make an extra $100 to $200 depending on the stock and how much the stock moves. But it's not realistic to say I'm going to buy a stock and in like 3 days or a week or 1 month, I'm going to turn that into 10 grand. You've got to be a high volume trader where you're constantly trading on a daily basis, like maybe 5, 10, 20 trades a day. But here's the thing, you have to be a day trader in order to do that. So that means you have to have at least $20,000, $25,000 or more in your account. And most of you guys are going to start off with $300 to $500 in your account. So if you don't have $25,000 in your account, you cannot do multiple trades a day. Okay, your account will be closed. The second thing, you have to let your money settle. So let's say, for example, you start off with $500 in your bank account, in your trading account, and you make a trade. And at the end of 2 days, you made an extra $100. So you have $600, right? So you close that out you invested the whole 500 on Monday. Wednesday, you said, hey, you know what? I'm going to cash it out. I'm going to take out my profit, which is an extra $100, which is $600 on Wednesday. You're not going to be, with most brokers, you're not going to be able to use that $600 the same day on Wednesday. You have to let that money, what they call settle. So you won't be able to do another trade using that same money until Thursday, because that money has to settle. Okay. And that's one of the reasons why I have multiple brokerage account, and you hear a lot of people say they have multiple brokerage account, because sometimes if they have, you know, $5,000, $10,000 in an account, or even $100,000 in an account, and they bought a stock, and they invested all that money into a few different stocks, and they cashed all those stocks out, they're not going to be able to trade the same day unless they have extra money left over. So that money has to settle. Um, this is why I have one account with E-Trade, and I also have another account with Chase Bank. Yes, Chase Bank has what they call a I think it's called um, self investment or self direct account. And with one of those accounts, what happens is, because it's your bank account, they know how much money you have in it, and Chase is a bank. What they're going to do is they're going to say, well, if you have, for example, $1,000 in that trading account and with Chase Bank, you're going to be able to buy stocks that day, invest that whole $1,000 in there on Monday. If on Tuesday or Wednesday you sell, you don't have to let the money settle, because they're your bank. They know the cash is available, so they don't have to wait for it to settle. You can actually trade with that money the same day, okay, and do another trade the same day. But guys, I'm just saying, be really, really realistic. I know the topic of this live was supposed to be setting up your charts. So I'm going to try to cover a couple things in regards to that. It's just, I feel like that's something I have to talk about, because so many of you guys are getting duped, and so many people are losing money on the stock market, and they're getting discouraged. And it's simply because because a lot of people are going into trading, assuming that they just can, that they're just going to become rich overnight, and it's not realistic. And I don't understand how people could be so, like I said, as a finance guy, I just don't understand how people could be so reckless to say, I'm going to take $500 and dump it into something that I have no idea what it really means, because I'm not willing to take the time to learn. Like, let's look at it like this. You want to learn how to drive a car. You don't just get behind the wheel and start driving. You're gonna have accidents. You're gonna injure yourself. You can injure other people. You can kill other people. So of course, naturally, if you want to learn how to drive, you watch videos. You have a brother or cousin show you how to drive, and they sit behind the wheel with you. You take a driving school class. You go to driving school to learn how to drive. You don't just do it. You know what I mean? It's just, a lot of people will be in jail. So I know it's somewhat of a bad analogy, but it's just, guys, if you don't just take your money and just dump it into the market and expect to make money. Take the time. you know I'm not pushing my course only. I'm pushing anyone's, like, go on Udemy, and I'll show you how to find really good courses, right? Now, for example, if you go into Udemy and you just type in stock trading, let's put in stock trading over here, right? So you go to Udemy and you put in stock trading, and then you hit enter. So you're going to have a bunch of courses that's going to pop up, right? And when you do this, Udemy likes to put their top rated courses at the very top, right? So when you put in stock trading, so like this right here is a really good course, the complete fundamental stock trading course, right? This course has over 100,000 people have taken this particular course. You go to Udemy, you can probably get the course for $16.99. Like I said, just because the course is cheap doesn't mean that you're not going to get a lot of information. When I was creating my course over here, which is called Stock Trading Simple Beginner Guide, I actually watched this course to figure out how to set up my course, because it was my first time really putting up a course on Udemy. And like I said, this gentleman, he owns a brokerage firm in Canada, right? It's a really good class. So what you want to do is you want to go into the courses. And when you go into the courses, you want to see how many people learn, right? This one has over 275,000 people that took the course. He has a 4.6 star rating. And then over here, once you go to the course, you can actually see right here, you can actually press the play button here. It'll give you a quick preview of what the course is about. And if you scroll down here, it tells you everything that's covered. Like these are the different sections. It has 8 sections right here with this course. Basics of the market, orders and pricing. You have recommended resources, technical analysis. It teaches you everything like candlesticks, volume. There's a lot of things in here that you may not necessarily need, but there's a lot of that is more advanced. But there's a lot of things that they cover, like the psychology of trading. If you go over here into my course, you're going to see some other things here. Once again, you can actually press the preview button, see what's going on here. We have over 890 students that taken our course. My course was just launched in January, February, March, April, and May of this year. So it's not that old. His course has been around for a couple of years. You also want to look and see updates. See when was the time the course was last updated. If you see that they have a course that was last updated like in 2018, then you don't want to touch it because you know that that professor or that person, that teacher that made the course is really not following up on his courses, and he's not going to provide you with the level of services that you need to make sure that you succeed. Same thing over here. We have basic knowledge of what the stock market is, recommended resources, setting up your chart, trends, volume, support and resistance, moving averages. And so there's a lot of different things that are here. There's a lot of different courses that are offered. But I just feel like it's very important as a finance guy to tell people, don't waste your money just trading without really taking the time to properly learn how to trade. Take the time, take a week, take one of the courses, whether it's on Udemy or Skillshare, learn how to trade properly, learn about support and resistance, learn about indicators. You're going to learn so many different things that when you look at a chart, you're going to be able to sit there and clearly say, okay, I need to buy here and I need to sell here. But if you don't do that, if you don't take a proper course, when a chart comes up, when you are looking to find a stock, you won't know where to look to find a stock. You won't be able to tell if a stock is going to be going up or down, and you're going to be making trades, basically gambling, and you're going to be losing. You're going to be losing a lot of money. And so I know I kind of got off topic with what the title of this course was supposed to be, but I felt like I really, really had to say this to you guys because, I got a big audience here on TikTok, and I noticed that a lot of people on TikTok, especially with the international community, you guys are buying into the hype, what a lot of these influencers are telling you, and it's just not true. I mean, you got to work really, really hard to make money in the stock. Well, you got to work hard to make money in the stock market. And as you guys can see from the live that I posted, not from the live, but from the short that I posted earlier today on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, I was in the office this morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. And 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm here watching the news, looking at charts, picking out what stocks to trade. And a couple of my students, they asked me, like, why don't I trade live? And I keep telling them, and you're going to constantly hear me say this, I am not an influencer. I don't make money on Instagram. I don't make money on TikTok. I sell my courses, but I'm here at the office working. And, and I can't focus really because I can't really focus trading live and also like giving my full attention to make really good trades. And I'm not here to, well, I must say I'm not here to flex or nothing, but it's just, I trade, but I can't do it live. I have to be focused. I have to be tuned in, and I have to have no distractions. That's why sometimes when I see some people trading live, I don't know how they do it. They probably can multitask. I'm not good at multitasking. And I feel like when I'm dealing with money, I take it very seriously. So therefore I try not to have any distractions, and I don't do any of this thing for clouts. I really do it just to educate my students. That's the only reason I'm on TikTok or Instagram. You guys can look at my profile and you guys will see that I've only been on TikTok and Instagram now for like the past 2 months, 2.5 months. It's not something I like to do, and I don't like to really show my face all over the screen. But enough about me. But what I'm just saying is, guys, do not get fooled by these influencers. Trading is a business. If you treat it like a business, if you're serious about it, you go over to Udemy, you sign up for one of the courses, any one of the courses, including my course, preferably my course. See, highest rated course on Udemy when it comes to stock trading. It's only an hour and a half long worth of video and lectures But guys, the reason for that, once again, is because once you sign up for the course, you get direct access to me for 3 months. Within 24 hours of signing, well, 24 to 48 hours of signing up for the course, I send you my contact information where you can reach out to me, call me, and ask me about any questions that you guys have in regarding in regards to stock trading, in regards to a particular stock you're interested in. If you need one-on-one private tutoring after you've watched all the videos and you've taken the course, you can reach out to me and we can schedule that. No extra charge, no additional charges, because eventually my goal is to have a community of individuals, and which are my students. We all sitting there. We can create a Discord, or we can just work together and just kind of have a community where we can share ideas, look at different stocks, and help out each other as well. That's it for this evening. I'm trying to keep all of these live videos under 30 minutes. It is now 8:02, so I'm 2 minutes over. Uh, and I will see you guys on Monday. Like I said, from now going forward, I will only be doing lives Monday and Thursday at 7:30, due to me being busy here at the office, and also doing live in-person training and with some of my individuals, with some of my students, as well as doing what do we call it? One-on-one, a lot of one-on-one tutorings. I have a lot of my students who are asking me for one-on-one tutorings, and that's typically in the evening. And I try to do some earlier on in the morning. So, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you on Monday. Well, nope, I won't be seeing you on Monday because it is a holiday. All right. So have an awesome one. Have a safe holiday. See you guys next week. Later.